Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we are so excited to have you again by May 5th, 2023. Nigeria's foremost senator and also one of the well-recognized Ndibo, Ike Ekeremadu, and the wife Beatrice will be sentenced over the issue of organ harvesting. And right now, there's a lot of tension, I must say, because many people are wading in on the federal government to do something. Right now, the House of Rep has sent a message to the UK government alongside the Ecowas, and all of them are at the point of begging. Don't forget that May 5th is 3 days away from now. Let's see what they are actually asking from the UK government over the issue of organ harvesting, which Ike Kwaramadu and the wife has been accused of. Now, according to the news, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Parliament, has pleaded with the UK authorities to grant Senator Ike Ekeremadu clemency in view of his conviction on charges of organ harvesting. Recall that Ike Ekeremadu and the wife Beatrice are awaiting sentencing after they were convicted by a UK court. However, in a letter by the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Dr. Sidi Mohamed Tunis, he urged the United Kingdom court to temper justice with mercy. In the letter addressed to the Chief Clerk, Central Criminal Court, Old Bailey, London, the speaker said though the ECOWAS frowned at the crime for which Ekeremadu has been convicted, it believes that lesson has been learned. The letter read thus: I am aware of the conviction and pending sentencing of Senator Ike Ekeremadu, my predecessor in office, and his wife, Mrs. Beatrice Ekeremadu, who had just undergone trial at the Central Criminal Court, Old Bailey, over the breach of the UK law relating to organ trafficking and modern slavery. Senator Ike Ekeremadu has over a decade of service with the ECOWAS Parliament. Within that period, he was Speaker of the Third Legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament. From 2011 to 2015, he equally served as the first Deputy Speaker of the Second Legislative of the Parliament from 2007 to 2011. Ekwemadu is highly appreciated in the Parliament and the West African sub-region for his sterling rules in the development of the community parliament and the preservation and stabilization of democracy in the sub-region. We wish to recall that as the first Deputy Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament in 2009, he chaired the ECOWAS Parliament and Hawk Committee on the Political Situation of the Niger Republic and the Republic of Guinea. His effort in that regard contributed in no small measure towards resolving the impasse in the two ECOWAS member states. As Speaker, he strenuously and diligently guided the ECOWAS Parliament in the actualization of the 2011 to 2015 strategic plan of the Community Parliament, among them the strengthening of the institutional rule and power of the ECOWAS Parliament, and the promotion and defense of human rights, justice, gender, democracy, peace, and security in the sub-region. He rallied the parliament against unconstitutional takeover of power in West Africa as well as the menace of terrorism, insurgency, and militancy. He visited virtually every flashpoint, sometimes at his very personal expense, in a quest to preserve democracy, peace, and stability in the sub-region. Importantly, we, to a very great extent, owe it to his leadership the enhancement of the powers of the community parliament, a cause he dedicated himself and his resources to in the determined bid of the third legislature to transit the parliament from a consultative to a legislative parliament. In addition, we will always be grateful to his leadership for the infrastructural transformation of Ecowas Parliament. I also wish to recall Senator Ike Ekeremadu's intervention in his personal capacity towards the welfare of parliamentarians and their constituents in special need throughout his long years of service in the community parliament. Many members of the parliament have had the opportunity of attending the annual Equal Her Foundation Day where he, together with his wife, dole out full scholarship and bursary award to indigenous students to brighten their future while equally empowering widows and the youth. In view of Senator Ike Ekeremadu's contribution to the West African Economic Parliament and his knowledge of the sub-region as well as his wide experience as a ranking senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, longest serving presiding officer of the legislature in Nigeria, and a member of several international legislative institutions such as the International Parliament for Tolerance and Peace, International Parliamentary Congress, Climate Parliament, among others, it could be understood why he has been a major asset to the ECOWAS region. He remained a priceless resource, and his long absence owing to his circumstances since June 2022 has denied us his invaluable service. It remains dreadful if he faces a long prison sentence in the present circumstances. Concerning his daughter Sonia, I wish to state that it is a common feeling among parents, especially in Africa, not to bury or suffer his or her own child. As a father, therefore, I can easily relate with the pains, dilemma, and crossroad of the senator and his wife over the health condition of the ailing daughter, who must still undergo a kidney transplant to stand a chance of surviving to fulfill her destiny. And who else could foot the bills better and also provide that moral support for the daughter? It still remains Senator and Mrs. Ekeremadu. It is certain that Sonia cannot survive the absence of two of her parents in her present health condition. At this juncture, I wish to add that I totally stand against the crime for which the senator and his spouse have been convicted. The community parliament also stand against it. We do not support organ harvesting in any way and by any method. Nevertheless, we believe that lessons have been learned not only by Ekeremadu but by everyone. The Speaker appealed to the court on behalf of the ECOWAS Parliament for leniency in meting out justice to the couple. We understand the position of the law, but only appeal that the Honorable Court put on a human face in the circumstances and temper justice with mercy, especially considering his good behavior and contribution to the good of the society, the less privileged, and democracy. Importantly, the typical Ekeremadu being one who is given to charity work and experience in lawmaking in Nigeria and internationally could also be very useful to the Nigerian and international community in public enlightenment and legal reform campaign on organ harvesting to curtail such incident drawing from his personal experience. Meanwhile, in a related, the House of Representatives have added their voice to beg the UK government and Parliament to intervene in the sentencing of Ekeremadu and Beatrice's wife. The lawmaker wants the UK to temper justice and mercy, or to temper justice and with mercy in the sentencing of the lawmaker. The legislation also asked the federal government to take diplomatic steps to intervene in the trial of the lawmaker. The resolution was passed at plenary session on Tuesday following the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Toby Okechukwu, a lawmaker from Enugu. Following the adoption of the motion, the lawmaker asked the clerk of the lower legislature chamber to convey their resolution in writing to British Empire Embassy, UK government, and the Parliament. Ekeremadu is due to be sentenced on May 5th at the Central Criminal Court, Old Bailey in UK. The case of Ekeremadu has, I must say, weakened a lot of people. I really sympathize with the man. Being a father and also having a child that is sick, one can be forced to go off board to do certain things. And but I don't even know what actually transpired. But from all indication, I think the young man only wanted to leave the shores of Nigeria to UK so that at least he can, out of his state or situation, he can still visit. At least have that mindset of once in a lifetime visiting UK. But I don't know, along the line, something went wrong. And I'm just wondering if they did not give him full details of what he was going there to do. That's one question that no one can really provide adequate answer. But looking at the situation on ground, um, the federal government needs to do something speedily. A group of people, respected leaders in Nigeria, need to visit the UK at least to let them understand the situation of things, at least to temper justice with mercy. I mean, the situation is so disheartening, just like the ECOWAS Parliament had rightly said. The situation is so terrible, and it will break the heart of the young girl, and may cause her never to forgive herself for being born with such an ailment. And for me, I just feel that something can be done. The federal government needs to wake up and at least wade into this case, and for once, just to show that this man has contributed socially and legislatively to the growth of this country. That's what we'd like to wrap it up. Go to our comment section. Let's interact. Thank you very much and stay tuned.